from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kind of sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Don't try to play me for no fool though. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kind of sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Don't try to play me for no fool. Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. Happy Sunday, y'all. Shout out to everybody watching March Madness. It's going crazy. I'm a Duke fan myself. I don't know who's rooting for who. Amanda, do you watch it?
No.
I didn't want to be sexist and assume you didn't watch it, so I had to ask you. No. So I'm going for Duke to go all the way. What about you?
I'm new to this year. That's big time for me. Usually I run on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not even around. So.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Villanova. I'm gonna rock with Villanova.
No, they already got eliminated yesterday.
Okay, then I'm neutral. That shows you that.
The weather's really nice outside.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So that means that season's around the corner. You know how excited I get about that season. I heard new remixes. No, I wasn't calling you a thought. No, I know you know how I always say that season's coming, so that's why I look at that. I heard new remixes to Tatiana, which means people are excited and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we have a special guest in the building. I'm just have everybody introduce themselves as we'll talk more.
Amanda Greedy got AKA with a little butt.
Yes.
It's your boy Cliff Rock now.
It's your boy Marvin the Entertainer. Marvin Calm, you know it.
Nice. Shout out to Sensei Open Shirt Papa. He not here this week, but he'll be back next week taking care of family stuff. So, Mr. Entertainer, let us know about the things you got going on.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me here today as your guest.
Yes.
You know, the opportunity is very, very appreciated. As you know, I'm here because I'm an up and coming actor. You know, okay. I would say I've met a few talents. Okay. With that being said, though, I'm using this platform today. I've worked on a couple of projects, theater, filming, and hopefully to continue to network, you know, possibly work with one of the best ones. It won't say possible, we'll work with one of the best today. You know, and like whatever you want to ask, you know.
That's what's up. So you said you've done theater. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that experience.
Oh man, well, so many experience. In 2015, when this all began, I was actually in the gym. Young lady came to me and asked me, "Hey, you ever thought about modeling?" I was like, "Model where?" I ain't 6 foot change. I ain't 120 pounds. She's like, "No, you know, there's no muscular, you know, models." I said, "Oh yeah." She said, "What about acting?" I said, "Maybe." So with that being said, she had a project she was working on. It was a student film. And,
oh wow! Right. So that's what's up. Because usually that's the line you hear a dude say to a woman who's trying to smash. Right. So let's keep it a buck, right? So when you hear it in the opposite end, it's like that's a cool story to hear.
Right. But in that case scenario, it wasn't though. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, yeah. So she had me on audition. She liked me, and I actually played a character as like abusive dad in a household, former pastor, and since the passing of my wife, turned to alcohol, and it very like made the house very uncomfortable, especially for my kids. So when I saw,
it's not nice that the character.
No, it's not that, unfortunately. But I mean,
it's a good, like a deep story.
It was a deep story. Well, fast forward, when I saw myself in front of the camera, and along with the video man there, and that person said, "You ever done this before?" I said, "No." She said, "You look pretty good," you know, and that was like a light bulb right there. Ding. I said, maybe I should look at this more. So with that being said, I started going on these casting websites, started like, you know, putting my stuff out there, and I got called for a first play in 2015, the same year when I started, actually, which was coincidence, for a play in Harlem. It was called The Tears of a Man, and I actually had offered the lead role. I had no theater experience. Yeah. So the judges there, I got like a big booklet, just things to memorize. Yeah. And I started to learn, and then with that, tap into acting classes, you know, running coaches and everything. So I was so teaching myself, studying actors on TV, not just watching the movie and saying that movie was good, but studying the techniques. Yeah. And doors kept on opening from there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Is there like any particular, you know, next thing that you're dying to try, something different, opportunity?
Oh man, yeah. I could tell you could be a list, man. Before you got here, I was actually mentioning modeling. Model is one of the things that I actually, you know, have a good interest in. You know, I like fashion. You know, I know there's been a door for muscular models now. You know, and I'm actually in working on myself health-wise, become more fit, more appealing, you know, and also even for these roles, you know, I got to make sure you look the role, you know, so whether it's clean cut, you know, and I'm just taking the opportunity. You know, speaking of the name, Marvin the Entertainer, you know, the name speaks for versatility. You know, there's another entertainer out there we all know, Cedric the Entertainer. So a lot of people ask me, you trying to be like Cedric and all that? You know, I just saw a picture with you on your Instagram, you had a top hat on, you know, you did look like Cedric. I said, nah, the name was actually just chosen because I'm a person of versatility.
Okay. What other skills besides acting do you possess?
Oh man, I'm a mentor, you know, I'm an instructor, you know, words of encouragement, you know, you name it.
Like a motivator.
There you go, like public speaking, exactly.
You guys have, before we start the regular show, you guys have any questions for Marvin Entertainer?
Oh no, he already answered. I was gonna ask him what.
Nah, come on, ask something.
I was gonna ask you what got you into modeling and stuff. Because Marvin and I went to high school together. So I don't know if you knew that.
Small world.
Yeah,
No, I did not know that.
small
I did not know that. Okay. Family matters. Family matters. So we're gonna jump into the regular episode, and then the first topic is I'm not your ex, right? Because sometimes we're in relationships and we're fighting ghosts, right? And when I say we're fighting ghosts, like you and your partner's beefing about things that you haven't done, but you give that person the inclination that you have the possibility to be like their ex. So sometimes you're fighting and arguing with someone about things that you've never done because you remind them of the person that they dated before. And that causes, you know, drama. So the first question is, why do we let the hurt from our old relationship treat the person in our new relationship guilty of things?
I think we should let the guests go first.
We usually let ladies first, but
yeah,
you know,
ladies
No,
first.
let's let the guests go first.
I think ladies are more willing to actually put their guards down and to trust again, as opposed to men. You know, we got that guard up all the way at 100. You know, it's like we build a fort. You know, and it's hard for us to open up in the beginning when you meet someone. You come from a past situation that was very toxic, we should say. Or most of us say nowadays, you know, and we just don't want to let our guards down.
So you actually feel like men carry more baggage in new relationships than women do? From your response.
Is that what he said to you?
That's what it sounds like, right? That's what it sounds like.
Because he spoke from the perspective of men being that way. So I was just asking you.
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of not every man. I'm speaking for men who try to avoid relationship. That's the situation nowadays. Many men don't want to commit. With that being said, you see what's on my finger right here, right? All right. I don't really advertise that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of men don't want to commit, and I understand it's a huge sacrifice. You know, getting to know one and bringing one into your space and sharing that space with the next person and understanding the likes and the dislikes of each individual. You know. But with that being said, when you're new to them and you feel like you have a common interest in someone and you're not too sure, you're fighting, but deep down you know what it is. Most party men per se don't want to put their guards down. They say, nah, I gotta be this, you know, I'm gonna rock this out to whatever thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they never know when is the right time. Women, I feel like are more receptive. Women are more easy to say, you know what, I've been hurt before, but I'm not gonna let my past handle what's in front of me.
I like your perspective. I disagree in my experiences, but we're gonna have.
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah.
Why do we let the hurt from our old relationship trickle into our new relationship?
I would say patterns. Sometimes, right there on that side. Yeah. Sometimes, when you're dating someone, you start to see the patterns that you saw in the ex. So it's like you may take that out on your new one, the guy that you're talking to now, because it's like, he's fucking up like the last one. Like, here we go. You start to notice the patterns. So, yeah.
What about you, Cliff?
That's a good answer. I'm piggyback from a man that said, you said you start knowing the patterns, and then you automatic go in there thinking that something is going to be negative about this new relationship, right? Because you're like, if the new relationship is just something that the old relationship that you didn't like, all of a sudden, like, oh man, what's going on here now? And now all of a sudden you don't make progress in a relationship. So sometimes you look at your old relationships and then you try to build to see that, is this person going to be the same? Let me see what's going on. As soon as they do something that the old relationship do, you get a little flustered and you start getting confused about the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a stronger believer, don't let nobody play you for idiot, right? Where you just ignoring things, but at the same time, I feel like you need to treat everybody with a clean slate.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes things seem similar, but I'm not saying you have to let yourself become victimized, but you have to allow that person to actually do something
But
before
see,
you
that's
start
the thing
wilding
with
out.
me. You'll start off with a clean slate, but then when the pattern starts happening, it's like, oh, here we go with the bullshit. And it's just like, how long you gonna put up with the bullshit?
Yeah.
You know?
Because I've been in situations where it was just like, you know, the person was just like, oh, you're gonna do me like such and such did me. And I'm like, what did I do for you to say that? Oh, that's just something, or and you answered this question that way, and that's how such and such answered the question. And I'm like, yo, you relationship profiling me. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like we don't want to go out in the streets and the cops say, hey, you look like such and such, so I'm gonna treat you a certain way. You shouldn't treat your relationship partners that same way too.
I agree with that.
Because you gotta let the relationship build and fester in a way where it's just like that person has a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's an old song by Erykah Badu with the Bag Lady song. You know what I'm saying? How we carrying all these bags, and it's just like, how could you be happy in a relationship if you already operating like, yo, this person's gonna be like the last person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how can you really enjoy that person? I think the best thing about a new relationship is learning someone.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing their patterns and being able to like, I'm gonna move differently. I feel like you should learn from that last person that, you know, that it didn't work out, but treat that new person a fair shot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's so many things on the outside that could be toxic to your relationship that could try to interrupt it, that you got to give that person a fair shot to be fresh, you know? So the next question is, why do we act like history will repeat itself in our new relationship? Like, why do we automatically assume history is going to repeat itself?
I would say because, well, it's almost like the same thing, like a pattern. You start to see certain things and you're like, dang, it's like everybody's almost like this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel just like that. Like you feel like everyone is the same or is starting to become the same, just about the same. Yeah.
Do we ever think that, you know, history repeating itself, that we have some contribution to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of times we always feel like men do this, men do that, but what do we contribute?
This
or
was
women do
the
this, women
topic
do
that
that.
you guys had last week, like in terms of dating differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
outside the comfort zone.
Dating outside of your comfort zone. I feel a lot of my friends that are engaged and married, they dated outside their comfort zone, and look at where they are right now. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that even dating outside of your comfort zone, the history repeat itself, or it offered a new terrain?
It's a chance that it won't repeat itself. Like, you know how they say certain women like bad guys or the tough guy image and stuff like that. Maybe if they go to the other side, it might not be like that.
Other side, you're saying interracial or?
No. Other side as in choosing a different type of a man.
Okay.
You know, like sometimes maybe a girl's picking the same guy that likes to hang out in the corner and shit instead of take his ass to work.
Yeah.
Now it's time to start dating a man who has a 9 to 5. Like, you know what I mean?
So the question is, why do we act like history will repeat itself in our new relationship?
No shade, but I just feel like it's a female thing.
Okay.
What the?
See, first time he's saying guys do it, and now he's just like.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that.
I'm definitely going to elaborate. I'm just piggyback of a conversation I had with someone earlier, and not here, but like I said earlier, and person said, yo, mom, I'm giving this a shot, mom, you know, but I don't understand. I don't understand homegirl. Like, she keeps dwelling on stuff what happened in her past, and she's picking every little thing that we going through right now and reflecting to her past. And I'm just trying to move forward. I told her, like, listen, you haven't been like, I haven't been hurt before, you know, but I'm putting it aside. I'm giving this a chance, you know. Yeah. So I actually said, mom, not for nothing, I could go back to the old me, 1, 2, 3. But I'm giving it a shot. I said this: what's misunderstood does not have to be explained. You continue to press out. You know, obviously, if the bell rings in our head, like, you say, you know what, maybe he is doing the right thing. Maybe I need to just back off a little bit, you know, give him that courtesy of respect, like he's trying to make it work. Again, I just, not towards you, man. It's a female. It's like they holding on to so much. They have that phobia of being hurt, and they miss out on the opportunity.
You said something that's critical because, no, as far as going back to the old me, I know a lot of dudes, as soon as a relationship don't work, shit, I'm going back to the, I ain't shit more. I ain't shit more. Whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Back to that being slutty, because that's what they want.
That's when they open up the chest
because of the girl
and the big T show for being a thought, and they jump right back to the thought.
I believe it's the type of woman that he's dating. She's holding on to insecurities and hurts. Then move on to the next one. I don't I don't have insecurities, but I don't bring my hurt, like my past relationships, into the new one. That doesn't make any sense.
How about this? I think that people should give it time to heal.
People don't heal.
That's a
and
good point.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that later on too. But so Cliff.
Okay, one more thing. I think y'all men, you guys hold on to a fucking
Here
heartbreak.
we go.
Okay?
We
Men
do.
hold
I
on
think
to
men are
heartbreak
worse
than women.
because
So
men.
therefore, I disagree with what Marv said. This Marv
Listen,
said.
don't kill the messenger, man. I'm just speaking.
So let me get Clifford's perspective. Why do you think we act like history is going to repeat ourselves in the relationship?
You know what it is? The problem is, and it's I think it's more like the new school generation. It's our generation. Like we automatically go into a relationship with a negative thought. Like we just automatically think like, oh, this ain't gonna work out. Whatever. Which goes, we don't expect it to be perfect and be good. Whatever. So we look at it. We go into it automatic thinking that something's gonna be wrong with it. And I think that's a big problem. Instead of saying, you know what, the past is the past. I'm gonna give this guy a new slate. I'm gonna give this female a new slate. Whatever. Boom. You know, I'm just gonna focus on what we have. I'm not gonna focus on the old. But automatically, and then social media don't help. Or you go on Instagram and Facebook, you got all these quotes, all these women rights, all these men rights, like, and you know, it kind of ruins a relationship. If you go into a relationship, just basically say, listen, I'm dating this person that's new, whatever. You know, I'm just gonna focus on what we do today. I'm not gonna focus on the past. It'll work out better.
And I think another thing is like, as far as coming from a man's perspective, I feel like a lot of times men get into relationships before they're ready for the relationship, right? So they're looking for an excuse to be out, right?
Exactly. That's
You know
why
what I'm
I
saying?
feel like you saying
Get
a
on my nerves
man
today.
wants to go back to the old way is because he never wanted to leave the old way. If something doesn't work, you move on to the fucking next. You don't say, I'm going to be the old Marv, I'm going to be the oldest. No, that's because you never wanted to settle down in the first place.
Yeah. I think a lot of times we're in relationships and we feel like we're doing this because this is the right thing to do. You know, like I think a lot of times we want companionship, but we hate the confinements of being committed. Right?
You don't want to be committed.
Right? Because we see it like a lot of times women see commitment as, you know, a sign of love and security.
Aren't you committed to something
and
that you love?
men feel commitment as like, to get some of the things that I want, I have to commit. But if I could get those things without the commitment, I would. I would,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and I got to apologize because my wife called me out and she was just like, all I've been hearing lately is you saying, oh, I'm never going to get married again, which is offensive to her, right?
Oh, okay.
And it's not just necessarily directed to her, but I do realize sometimes the confinement of being married and being in a relationship, you kind of just be like, you know, sometimes in your head you be like, yo, you feel like you don't want to have to answer to anybody. But at the same But at the same time, it's respect to answer to your spouse. Yeah. It's respect to take into consideration everything that she wants and you want, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But man, we're always feeling like, don't cage me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you lose that person, you'll be hurt as shit.
Yeah.
You
Which
know?
goes back to saying like, men love hard and all that. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, some guys don't show their feelings as much as women do. Mm-hmm. You know, and
which is fucked up because I feel like people need to be more open with that. Like, you know, a lot of times it would leave the woman guessing like, well, you know what, he really doesn't like me. Like, he doesn't show me this, he doesn't do that. But deep down inside, you're really liking that person and stuff. But you guys hold on to, I ain't going to show her that I fucking miss her. Like, why?
Because emotion,
why do guys do
as
that?
men, we're taught being emotional is not a male trait. Right. It's weakness. Yep. Right? We're taught by our fathers in the men's society like life is the art of war. Maybe it's the art of war in business, but it shouldn't be in your relationships. But we're afraid to show our weakness. We're afraid to show vulnerability. We're afraid to show, you know, any sign that, you know, we're not in control.
Sometimes that will fuck a woman's head up. I'm like, you know what, he's not that into me, so I'm going to move on to someone else who is into me.
And sometimes it takes us losing a good thing to be like, damn.
Yeah.
She didn't ask much from me. She asked so little, but I wasn't mature enough to handle that. So the last question on this topic is, do you have an ex you're thankful for what they taught you about yourself?
Say that again? What's the
question? Do you have an ex that you're thankful for what they taught you about yourself? Like the girl that I liked before my wife.
Yeah.
I was so went out of my way for her, and she still kind of just brushed me off. So it made me realize, like, you know what? No matter how hard you try, if a person is not into you or doesn't want that from you, you can't change them.
You cannot.
But it also told me, like, it taught me that, like, yo, someone's gonna be out there that appreciate the love and commitment that you have, right? So I think if I would have met my wife before I met this girl, I probably wouldn't have been mature enough to be like, you know what, this is someone who show them how much they want you, to be mature about it. I probably would have been still trying to be in my quote unquote dot stage and ignore the real thing that I had and just be like, this is cool, but I'm still out there trying to, you know, chase my royal oats kind of thing, you know? So I'm thankful to her, because if she didn't shit on me the way that she did, I probably wouldn't have been as appreciative for my wife when I met her. So what about you guys? Is there an ex out there that you're thankful for what they taught you about yourself?
She wasn't really an ex, but I was rocking out with a hard body in college. You know what I mean? I was whoring big time in college. I was playing college basketball.
So you were a thought.
I was making my rounds. Yes, I was making. I was making my rounds. But
I love Tatiana. I just love that. I don't know why. But
well, what I'm saying is, the girl that I was dealing with, I remember I was in the basement. I was in the basement in my brother's place, which we was talking about. I was coming home from college. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. The next person, I'm gonna try this relationship thing. And the next relationship. No, real talk. And the next relationship was my wife. Now she's my wife. We got a kid together. She stuck around, and you know what it was? I was patient at that time. At the time when I was dealing with the ex, it was like, you ain't really my girl. We just rocking out, man. You know what I'm saying? You could get these papers anytime. But I said to myself, I want to be in a relationship. And that's what happened. I was in a relationship with her. And then all of a sudden, years down the line, we got married. So I am thankful. And we have a beautiful daughter. So I'm thankful that it helped me grow to become the man I am today.
What about you?
I'm a man in progress still.
What about you? Me? There's no ex that, like, you know what? The way I fouled up, or she taught me, like, man, this is what I need to do, so that when you was in your next situation, you was more prepared to handle it.
Well, with that being said, I feel like every man experiences something that makes them a lot stronger for the next relationship that comes along. That person made me more of a grind, more motivated. With that being said, I actually found my wife.
Beautiful thing.
My wife. She helped me find my wife. My ex helped me find my wife.
Ooh, yes.
Situation that I thought that was right for me, that wasn't right for me. So with that being said, it's like now I'm climbing the highest mountains I've ever climbed before, like more driven, more goal oriented, and keeping the respect for myself. You gotta have as men, we have to have some type of dignity and respect for ourselves. That's something we have to be disciplined with. A lot of men, they think with other things, I don't want to say loudly on here, but you gotta think with your brain. With that being said, I ain't trying to sound like Malcolm X on this air, but now my past situation helped me find my wife and allowed me to be the better person I am today.
That's good.
That's good. What about you, Amanda?
Past situations with ex-boyfriends, they taught me how to. I feel like through every breakup, you find yourself a little bit more. So for me, I would say I found myself way more, coming from the past. So you learn who you are.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I always tell people, like, you know what, you need to date multiple people. You need to like, you don't necessarily mean you need to go out there and sleep with as many people as you can, but you need to have relationships as far as this. It don't always have to be commitments, but like situations where you allowed yourself to be vulnerable, while you had communication, like you really tried your best to think about somebody outside of yourself, right? It's so easy to be out here just trying to, take care of needs, spend time with people in the way that you want to, but not get nothing from it, not really engage, right? How many people we know that wake up and then have a chain of women or men that they entertain, but they don't give none of themselves to. Like, you have to give yourself to someone for you to know who you really are, right? Because if you just operate for your personal needs, you'll never understand what it takes to really make a successful relationship,
Can I interject?
Sure.
Of course you can. Go ahead.
That's what you do. That's what you hear.
Like you said, you said something about date multiple people. I mean, that's all good and all because everybody have needs. Most people could be vulnerable. But with that being said, some people gotta learn how to be with themselves, man.
Yes.
Put yourself first.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that one.
beautiful because that segues to our next topic.
Okay.
The next topic is, before I jump into the relationship, I need to fix me. So you kind of hinted to exactly what we're going to discuss now, right? And it's like, why do we hop from relationship to relationship without doing self-inventory? Go ahead, Amanda, let us know.
I don't hop into relationship, so I can't relate to that.
Yeah.
As far as dating multiple people, I have to go back to that.
But there are people out there who like don't know how to be single and like embrace that. Go ahead.
Yes. The multiple people thing when it comes to dating, are you talking about going out on actual physical dates?
I don't know. I want to clarify that.
Clarify that.
I don't mean like you should be like, I'm dating Rihanna,
okay,
Beyonce,
Tatiana.
I mean, I feel like, you know what, before you call yourself getting married, I feel like anybody out there should have a, you know, something to compare to, like, you know, date people, learn people. If it don't work out, move on, kind of thing. Okay. And allow yourself to learn different people, not necessarily entertain multiple people at the same time. I thought you meant like date Tom on Friday.
No. Okay.
I mean, but if that's how you choose to learn yourself, that's
for certain people. You know, but for someone like
because the weather's getting nice, so this is around the time you start
here we go.
getting
The weather's getting nice.
Yo, it's a correlation. It's a correlation between the whole level in yourself and the weather.
Oh my God.
It's a fake fact. It's not a real fact. It's a fake fact. But back to it. So even if that's not you, why do you feel some people hop from relationship to relationship without doing self-inventory?
I feel like those type of people are insecure. I feel like they look for their happiness within other people and not within themselves. Yeah. So they jump from one person to one person without learning who they are. I think that those type of people feed off of other people and they're weak. Yeah.
And I feel like people don't have a good, strong. People don't take time to get self-identity, right? Mm-hmm. Some people, women and men, but sometimes it's tough because it doesn't sound sexist, but sometimes I feel like a lot of women define themselves by being in a relationship.
Why do you feel women do that?
Because I feel like a lot of
guys do that. I feel people do that.
Do you think you can honestly say more, from your perspective, right? More men define their self-identity by being in a relationship versus a woman? I feel more women are proud to say I got a man versus a man saying I got a woman. Keep it a buck.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I think you're outnumbered, but I want to hear I want to hear what the guys say.
I think that most people that jump into relationship because a lot of people are scared to be alone. Yeah. Especially like it depends what kind of age factor you play, right? Like in your 20s, when you're from 18 and 20s, yeah, you want to just be like, I'm alone. You're more comfortable with that, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're in your mid 30s, people start asking this question. You ain't married yet? You ain't got no kids?
I'm gonna cut that off. I'm more comfortable in my 30s than I was in my 20s. But I'm okay with being single.
No, that's you. But a lot of people jump into relationship because that's security to hopefully it's gonna lead to something special, right? Mm-hmm. So a woman 10 in the 30s like, listen, I just broke up with Chris. You know, Kevin was like me in the past anyway, so I'm gonna mess with Kevin.
That's because she felt like she wasted her time on Chris.
Not just necessarily. Not necessarily. Sometimes it's because you're afraid that to be alone in that age group, because in your 30s the ideal is, and not to be sexist, but you want to build a family. You have your two wonderful boys and stuff, and so you have that security. But some girls, when they're 30s and they're alone, people start asking questions. What's going on with you? Is it you? Then that's when you got to step back. And that's just not even just women and a guy too. Like, dog, you in your 30s and you still doing that Miami thing? You know what I mean? But what's going on? So let me just elaborate on that.
You still going to Miami?
Yeah, like, yo, you like, dog, like, when you going to get it together? So it's easy to be like, you know what? I broke up with her, but I'm with her now. You know, things are looking good. I see building a future now. But if you got the answer, you know, I'm just moving past the past. You know, it's a little funny, right? Yeah. People start questioning you, like, yo, is it you? Mm-hmm. Let me step back.
To be honest with you, I
kind of mentioned that.
I kind of feel bad for women in that case, right?
Why?
Because
what are you feeling bad about?
All right, I'm 36. I'll be 37.
Yeah.
If I was 36, 37.
Tell me what you feel bad about.
And I become single. People kind of be like, man, he's out there trying to chase his oats and stuff like that. But no one's judging. A woman's 36, 37, and she's single, and people kind of be like, what's wrong with her?
That's a fact.
You really think that?
Yes,
That's a fact.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't give a fuck what anybody ever thinks about me.
I'm a survivor.
I'm not even 36 yet, but what I'm gonna say is that I am having the time of my life. I'm doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to be in a relationship, I can be in a relationship, but I don't want to right now. I'm living my life. I'm traveling with my children. I'm traveling by myself. I'm traveling with my friends. I'm walking out of the house at any time that I want to. I don't have to answer to anybody. That's because I chose this lifestyle.
So let me ask you a question. I'm
There's
gonna
nothing to
ask
feel sorry about.
Marvin a question after, but do you carry being single as a badge of honor?
I carry being Amanda as a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
I have not found anyone that, well, I'm not dating, but I haven't found anyone that I wanted to commit my life to and my children to that are worth that.
Because I feel like men who are single are more proud to be single than women who are single.
I feel that way too, because guys like to pride in the fact that the majority of the men that are single like to pride themselves into being thoughts. They want to fuck who they want to fuck, and that's it.
So we haven't got your perspective on this question. So the question, to get back to it, is why do people hop in relationship without doing their self-inventory?
Marv, don't sugarcoat it, Marv.
Or healing, like you said. Like
Marv the entertainer, don't sugarcoat it. We don't hold back on the views right now.
Go ahead, Marv.
Someone just needs someone to be on this side, man. Someone on their hip. You know, they don't want that emptiness. You know, from our perspective, wow.
But that emptiness is them not being comfortable with themselves. So you shouldn't be empty if you're by yourself.
Which is true.
I don't feel empty. Yeah. I feel amazing.
And this goes from.
So you feel amazing being single?
I feel amazing being single, and until I open myself up to find someone that can add to this, then I'm good.
As
I'm
you
great.
should, yeah. But can't speak for everyone. If you try to understand someone, you're just like, no, why you just chill out a little bit? Just rebuild yourself. Find your flaws and work on them. I think the person who could be accountable for their flaws and all that is the person that will move forward in life. Will appreciate the next situation that comes his or her way.
Yeah.
Just address it.
So the next question is, how long should you stay single after a breakup? What do you think? Give us a number and why you chose that number.
Man, maybe like a year or two.
Year two?
Year two, yeah.
Wow, that's too long, bro.
Wow.
In my opinion, look, don't get it twisted. If you are single for a year or two, by circumstance, cool. But I don't think you should go on a 2-year sabbatical after a breakup.
Was that bad?
Wait, that's your answer.
Which camera's on me?
This camera right there.
Listen, there's no wrong and right answer. That's your answer.
Yeah.
For me, I've been single going on 4 fucking years in May. So I'm good.
That's a long time, sis.
That's
That's a long time, sis. I ain't even gonna hold you.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
As much as I talk shit about, if God forbid, knock on wood, I don't want to get divorced.
You didn't even knock on this fucking wood.
Because,
knock on that wood.
because the noise on the podcast, people listen to us, right? But I don't, to be like, after the breakup, I'm in 2 weeks, I'm going to be married for 10 years, right?
Wow.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
So I say that to say this. So if I do split up, it's going to be tough for me to just move on mad fast, right? But I think if you out here and you break up with someone and you wait 2 years to be in a relationship again, or 4 years, no disrespect.
I'm not waiting 4 years.
I'm just saying,
but
it just happened to work out.
It happened that
4
way.
years is a long time.
You
could have became a doctor right after you got.
Wow. 4 years. So wait a minute. I'm not saying my
You could be a lawyer with a practice.
You definitely could be a nurse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what was happening though.
But you know what? To answer
I'm not saying that 4 years is
Go
my
ahead.
answer.
Yeah.
My answer actually has no time frame. It's when you're ready. When you're completely over that person, you can see that person with someone else and be like, I don't give a fuck.
I think
then
6
maybe
months.
you can move on.
I think.
Wow.
I think
I was
6
gonna
months.
say 6 months too.
Right?
Oh, that's that rubbish.
No. Hear me out. The reason why I say 6 months, right?
months too.
Because 3 months, you need to just clear your head from the old shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 3 months, you got to start thinking about, okay, what kind of person do I need to be with next? What did I contribute to the failure of my last relationship? But life is too short. 2 years, 4 years is a long time. You don't know when you're gonna die. You wait 4 years.
I know.
No disrespect. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I say I was gonna say 6 months also because I always try to base it on like everyday society thing, like work. There's a reason why you do 3-month probation or 6-month probation because they want to get to know you.
Yeah.
So I feel like after 6 months, you got time to clear all your baggage and just take a step back and say, you know what, my career is not going well. Let me try to find a new job. You know what? Let me start working out. Let me just find myself as a person to give me that security. 6 months is enough time to take a step back. A year is like, okay, you did all that, like, what's going on? Like, you still day high? You know what I mean? 6 months is more. That's the reason why a job say 3 to 6 months, because they really got to get to know you. Because you could be a great actor. Yeah. You could be a great actor for the first 2 months.
How long do you feel?
I would say about a year.
That's a long time.
I would say
Let me tell you another reason why I say 6 months.
Go ahead.
Your first 3, like someone in my situation, like you've been married for 10 years and God forbid you break up.
Mm-hmm.
For the first 3 months, you trying to smash everything you felt you missed.
That's the man.
No, but that's a lot of
me,
people.
I'm not smashing as many as possible.
It's like
that just sounds
if you was in
crazy.
jail for 10 years, right? The first 3 months, you don't know what to do with yourself. And then after a while, you got to figure out, okay, now I need to be human again. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, so why a year?
A year is enough time if you want to change your career, if you want to find yourself and stuff like that. A year is enough time to get all that shit together.
If you single,
together,
if you break up in your 20s, I feel like you have a year. In your 30s and your 40s, your good years are hard to come by.
See, this is the problem.
Are hard to come by.
I'm gonna tell you guys what the problem is now.
Even as a man, you have so many quality erections left in you from your 30s to your 40s.
Oh my God. That's what you're thinking about. Okay, you know what? I would say goals. So some people are like, oh, I want to have a baby before 40. Whatever. If that's what your goal is, then maybe you should put those quick ass time frames. For me, it's different. People need to be comfortable with themselves.
We gotta be honest, like it don't get
everybody needs to
get wet the same in your 20s and 30s versus your 40s and your 50s.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit right there. Sometimes in your 30s is your best times opposed to your fucking 20s. But I think that the problem is everyone is putting an age to where you're supposed to commit, where you're supposed to have a family, you're supposed to be like this, you're supposed to, society, da-da-da-da. People need to stop focusing on society and focus on themselves. Just because I'm in my 30s does not mean I have to be married or I have to have a certain amount of children or I have to have a house. To be honest with you, yes, I was thinking about a house at the same time. I'm like, I don't want to fucking take care of all this shit by myself. I have a 2-bedroom apartment or whatever, and I don't want to do this, that, and the third. Imagine if I had a house. You don't have to have a house in your 30s. You don't have to be married in your 30s. You don't have to have a family in your 30s. All of this shit is set on you because of what society told you what it's supposed to be.
And this is not a shady question. This is just, perspective question. Like you said, you've been single for 4 years now.
Yeah, I've dated.
You said you've dated. Mm-hmm. Ideally, how long would you have gotten to a permanent relationship after the breakup with your ex? You would have waited a year, or you would have been good after 6 months?
You mean after the last relationship, after we broke up?
Yeah.
How long did it take for me to be good?
Yeah.
I would say about like 8 months or something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We ended on a okay note. It wasn't that bad. He's a great person and stuff like that. So it just ended.
And like I said, so the last question on this topic is like, because we're talking about people taking time to heal before they move into their new relationship. So the last question, do you approach a new relationship hoping it will heal you? Because I feel like that's a mistake a lot of people make.
You can't approach a relationship like that. You have to be the one to heal you. If you're religious, your God has to heal you. But, you have to heal yourself. You can't look for healing in someone else. You have to look for healing within yourself.
I agree with you. I feel like a lot of times, both men and women, and sometimes women, feel like, that next dude is going to be the answer to some of the problems that I face?
Honestly, sometimes he could be. Maybe you're broken on the inside and he's that great man to show you how wonderful you really are and help you blossom and to become better. Just like for a man, maybe a man feels low and he meets this woman that brings that out in him. So that can go that way too.
Yeah. If I was in a situation looking for the next relationship, I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, 40 is right around the corner. 40 is closer than 30 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for someone to heal me. I'm looking for someone to compliment. I would be looking for someone. I'm in my situation now. I'm not looking to exit. I say I would be looking for someone to compliment me as far as happiness.
Well, this is why I've been single for so long.
You know?
I haven't found
because
someone to compliment me.
I feel like a lot of times we look for someone to like elevate you or confirm what you think about yourself. Mm-hmm. But you need to have your own self-identity. You need to find your own definition of happiness, you know? What do you think, Marlon? So the question is, do you ever approach a new relationship hoping it would heal you? Obviously, you're not looking for a new relationship, but do you think people do that, and why do you think people do that?
Like you said, I think that, you know, a lot of stuff is probably based off insecurities.
Yeah.
You know, most people might need that one to uplift them, you know, to make them feel good, to make them feel like they're important. Yeah. And you got some who just, you know, say just do it just because they just want to be in a relationship. They just want someone to just be there. So, you know, it goes several ways. It's several ways.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Cliff?
Cliff pouring that drinky drink.
Yeah, I need to holler at Don Q to get up as a sponsorship.
Yeah.
I love Don Q.
You guys like it like that?
Nah, it's
I
smooth.
like that
smooth.
wine right there.
It's
That shit, whatever.
It's smooth.
So do you ever approach a new relationship hoping it would, you know, help you heal? Do you think people do that? And why do you think people do that?
I think a lot of times people approach a new relationship to see if it heals because they just some people are just afraid to be alone. Yeah. Like it's scary. Like
that's
you know what it is. And I gotta say I appreciate somebody like a man who's a free spirit and can handle the situation. A lot of girls I talk to that's in their 30s, they'll tell you things, you know what? My time is ticking, you know, something I might not be doing something right because it's scary to be alone in your 30s. I'm be honest, I'm not trying to be sexist, especially as a woman, as a woman, it's scary to be alone. It's, you know why? It's because standard in society looks at you. Listen, it's a reason why you taught to go to it's a reason why you taught to go to elementary school, junior high school, and ideal supposed to be college because that's society, and then get a good job on them. Being in your 30s and single is not ideal anymore like that. So a lot. No, I'm not saying. I can respect that. I can respect that. But that's why a lot of people look at their new relationships and say, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I need to do because I don't want to have that. I don't want to go brunch with my homegirls and they ask me why I'm alone still. So I said,
shout out to Esther Rivera doing a mid-episode promo for the girls.
So I wasn't here last week.
This was dope.
Shout out to the
good
ladies.
Wine. Shout out to Black Sisters doing their thing.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Wine.
I like the package.
Yeah,
nice,
and like I said, as it becomes more available, we're gonna keep plugging it. I definitely love what they got.
Nice.
So I think it's just, you know, like people are scared to be alone. Yeah, men and women. Men not say that, but it's a lot of guys. You know, they sometimes they won't say, but they'll be envied at the fact that you figured it out. Seriously, I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys in their 30s. They envy that you figured it out. I'm married. I got a kid. I got a good job. I'm doing things that I want to do. A lot of guys just ain't figured it out yet. And then I'm not trying to out here trying to act like I'm better than anybody, you know, because I'm far from that. It's just that people don't. It's hard to figure it out. So a lot of time people are like, yo, I got to stay in a relationship just so this question won't be asking me.
I think that
that brings it back to what I said, society. Everybody's worried about what society thinks.
I feel like healing is individual, right? Mm-hmm. So people make that mistake thinking that their next person is going to like change the game. Mm-hmm. But you got to change the game. You got to change the game within yourself, expectations, what you want out of life, what makes you happy. My recurring theme is like, yo, you have to define happiness for yourself, right? Because if you listen to society will say, you know what, I'm married, but I don't have no kids, so I quote unquote failed. Uh-huh. Or you have kids, but you're not in a long-term relationship, so you failed somehow. Society can kiss your ass.
Sure,
Are you happy?
Kiss my little flat ass. Yes, I can.
Greedy gut with the little butt. They can kiss the little butt, right?
Greedy gut with the little butt.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to stop allowing perspective on outside to find happiness. Just like, okay, I own, I'm a condo owner or quote unquote homeowner. Someone may rent. You may be renting, but you got a plan for a situation that's going to be beautiful.
Right, exactly.
And I could be a homeowner that's drowning.
Right, exactly.
But society, if they don't take a deeper look, they'll say, what, I'm a homeowner, I'm doing better, but I could be drowning, I could be struggling. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we gotta look for individual healing before we look for someone else to have the answers. Because guess what? The person you meet, they don't have all the answers for themselves as well. We're not broken, but we're all trying to figure it out. The person that you meet should compliment you, trying to figure out, but not be the quote unquote answer to all your problems.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the last topic, right? And the next topic is, how would you approach your next bae, right? So we're trying to break down, like, what are like the kind of rules to like approaching someone new, especially being older now. You're single, so you could possibly give us more insight. Mm-hmm. So the first sub question is, what are the do's and don'ts when trying to court you? So any dudes who out there who's watching this episode, like, yo, I'm trying to slide in a man's DMs. I'm trying to be in a man's life. What are the do's and don'ts?
It's the first lady now. Be careful.
The don'ts is be overly aggressive.
Okay.
Like, if you're asking me on a date and I didn't give you it, like, I always get people like, oh, when can I take you out? I'm a single mom, you know what I mean? But I always make time.
Yeah.
If I have to go on a date, I'll make time and stuff like that. But to feel pressured or to overly, like, it's like, damn, like, I can't. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm always...
So what are the do's?
I'm very simple. So I like picnics and parks and flowers.
But even before you say yes, how is the dude supposed to approach you to get that yes?
I can't give that away.
Why can't you give that away?
Because I let people be themselves. Because if you know what that person wants, you're going to constantly do what that person wants, but you're not really being yourself. Yeah. Like, I feel like people need to be themselves. If you're showing me that you want to take me out on a date or something like that, then, it all depends on how you're showing me. Like, if you're showing me in a different way, I'm like, I can't tell you.
So I'm going to ask the fellas now. Like, I know, obviously, everybody here got a situation. But if you wasn't in a situation, what are the do's and don'ts if someone tried to spit at you?
Can't seem thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't seem thirsty, man. Because honestly, at the end of the day, anything that comes too easy, is the light bulb's gonna go in your head.
Like Tupac said, I don't want it if it's that easy.
Exactly. Okay. But that's just, it's not for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Con?
If I was single and you try to approach me, like, to talk to me, well, I mean, you got to be able to hold the conversation, right? Because, at this point in my age, I don't got time to waste. So if you can't really hold a conversation and the stuff that you're talking about means nothing and don't have no kind of substance to me, you probably ain't going to fuck with me in long term. Yeah. So I could know literally in 30 minutes to an hour, all right, this ain't going to work anymore. Yeah. I'm going to respectfully go through this little shindig or little date that we're gonna try to do, and then I'm never gonna call you again. That's how it's gonna work, because I know the level of communication I'm on right now.
He just brought that up. You know what? Now thank you, right? That's what you said that.
So now you gotta read.
Yeah, I agree with that. The shit that's the worst is when someone talks sexual too soon. That's a fucking don't.
That's a lack of communication, because he's already thinking about something that. If you were,
let me all know if you want sex, right?
No, that's
but at least be patient
that's a lack of
get to know.
That's a lack of communication, because his thought process, he should begin to know you first, and then automatically, if I'm courting you, I know I'm gonna have sex with you regardless. It's gonna take time.
So you're that confident that?
Oh no! Listen, it's gonna go down eventually, or whatever. It's not about being confident. It's about knowing your situation, right? But I'm not even gonna have that conversation with you. I'm gonna try to see what's going on with you first. See if we mesh, first.
For me,
like intellectual guys.
Yeah,
I love men that have.
Perfect. So a do is like us having conversations about things that are deep. And then also just like, it bothers me when you're talking to a woman and it's just all about them. Not to be rude, just every conversation is about. Like, I want to know that you're genuinely interested to know what I think about certain things. You know what I'm saying? What's my perspective about it? Like Cliff said, the sex and shit like that's gonna happen eventually or whatever. But I want you to like really show interest in wondering what.
So it's all about if at this stage of the game, like if your communication skills sucks, and if I was single, it's not gonna work between us because that means that you're at a level that we can't go together.
Right.
Because when I was dating or whatever, I had girls in the past that told me it wasn't interesting to me at first, but when they got to know me and I started talking that shit, it was a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
That's
you
me.
know what I'm saying?
So
you know what I mean?
Me being a big dude, it's hardly ever I spit and then I bag. It's always work. Like I'm like Color Purple. All my life I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? I've always had to.
So
I always felt like I've had to convince a woman that, you know what, I want to take a chance on that dude.
But it's a lack of communication, and even if dude, you could be the flyest dude in the world, but if you talking about shit that don't matter with no substance, a real chick is like, you know what, this dude got money, but he's corny. Why he keep talking? I see the bag is heavy. You ain't gotta tell her. She know what it is.
I need a guy that can talk about any and everything because I love to converse. And I talk about everything. If you can't talk to me about everything,
and you need to respect that I'm a nerd and I'm cool too. So I like nerdy shit, but I'm cool too.
Right. Exactly.
You gotta be able to embrace both. You know
I hate flashy guys too. I hate flashy guys. Like there was guys that would be in my inbox and say things like, "Oh, they got a business and they have this," and it's good to have those things. But then it's just like, yeah, and I got this car and I got that car.
No, hold on, no. Flashy and I'm interject because I'm interjecting. Flashy and confidence is two. Oh, okay, go ahead.
When someone's like, oh yeah, I have a Benz and then I have this and I have this car and I have 3 cars sitting in my garage and I'm like, oh, okay.
Because they don't have substance, so they have to lead with that.
And I'm sitting here like, this is kind of like annoying. I really don't care about all the shit that you say you have. Like, I'm not looking for a man that has 20 chains on and has
I feel offended.
It's all right. Listen. The Barnums, we got foreign cars, we got chains.
That bag is there.
We try to be the next Cash Money, but we can hold a conversation. The thing about it is, it's a difference between being flashy and confident.
Confidence with substance.
Confidence. Confidence is gonna get you to the next level. Flashy might just get you, 1 or 2 joints or whatever. Make you feel good. That's it. But in this world,
because when we come in short one time, the next question is: have you ever been bagged in a way that was hard to turn down? I'm gonna ask you more.
Wow, you put me on the spot.
More than entertaining, you getting kind of light on the answers, man.
I mean, like most of well, before married and all that, before being in a relationship with my wife, I have females come full force and all that to me, like, you don't like this right here, you like it because all the guys be in my DM and you ain't hitting me up. So like, when you feel like you're not giving someone that time of day, and then you're not really pressing them, and it's like a light bulb for them too. Again, like, why is he not on me like that? Why, you know what I mean? So for them, it's like that's like a catch. But at the same time, like most guys like myself wouldn't like a woman come just throw himself back. Don't like it at all.
So to get the question is, have you ever been bagged in a way that was hard to turn down?
New York, tri-state. Yeah. But I want to elaborate though.
All right. So we're gonna have the first lady. So have you ever been bagged in a way that was hard to turn down?
Nope.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
What about you, Ken?
I mean, before I was married, in college, I've been bagged about a couple of old heads that, I was
old
like,
heads.
no, real talk.
Old heads. Don't give an age. Don't give an age.
I'm with the age. If you 18 years old and the chick is 36, 37 at the time, that's a big gap difference.
That's a big gap.
So I've been there where, a chick was aggressive, whatever, boom, and I couldn't turn it down because I like chicks who's confident and what you call it, and also with that confidence, I know it's gonna lead. When I was horned, that's gonna lead to good sex, so I wasn't gonna turn that down. I'm being honest.
I've been bagged in a way where the way the girl approached me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was funny to me because she was like, "Yo, little shorty, let me come talk to you." And I'm just like,
where were you? Were you in the corner?
no, I was OT. I was out of town, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Texas a while back. Way, you know, I've been married 10 years, so this is way back in the day. But the way she spit at me, it was just like, I'm not used to that. So it really drew my attention, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times women want to be chased. A lot of times women don't put themselves out there. So when she did, it made me laugh and it made me entertain the conversation.
Okay.
But you don't want to elaborate, right? You said
nah, I can't elaborate. I'll tell you after the show.
So the last question on this topic, and then we're gonna go to Amanda had the question. If you had to shoot your shot at a celebrity crush, what would you say?
If you had to shoot your shot, what was the question?
At a celebrity crush, what would you say?
Damn. Y'all gonna have to go first. I gotta think about this. I gotta think about who my crush is.
So who's your celebrity crush? Who you would shoot your shot at?
My celebrity crush is Sanaa Lathan, and the first thing I would tell her is, you know, I know you in the industry, what you call it, but you need to give a regular dude that knows about 24 hours.
Okay.
Oh.
And what do you mean know about 24 hours?
Elaborate.
You know what I mean? 24 hours, you know, what you call it, that's keeping his mind busy and that's gonna work on you. So.
Oh, who's your celebrity crush?
Jeez, you know what? You put me in. Well, this was a random question though, but I don't really have no one ever even came to sight like that to me.
Really?
Maybe I just turn that question back around. Maybe I'll come back.
What about you?
I would say one of my, I don't really have celebrity crushes, but I think is fine as hell is the guy who played in, actually played in Us. And he also played in,
Listen, Duke.
Yeah, he
went to my college. He went to University of Buffalo.
He is like tall and chocolatey and beard.
So what are you gonna tell Winston do? What would you say to him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
My celebrity crush is weird.
I would just like walk up.
My celebrity crush is Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
That's not weird.
Culture. No, that's not.
And then what would you tell her?
But I would tell her like, yo, listen.
Did you say Rihanna?
Rihanna's a physical thing. Like Rihanna's more like sexual.
Dominatrix.
You know what I'm saying? But Lauryn Hill, I'd be like, yo, listen, your music has changed my life so much.
That's gonna be his game.
You need to get together and change this world. I know you want to make a difference. I want to make a difference too. Let's change this world together.
That's some links to
Y'all
you.
cannot fucking change the world together.
Listen, that'll be my venue.
And they're gonna be late at every concert that she has.
I make sure her ass is on time to her concert.
More than entertaining. More than entertaining. Answer the question, bro. What's going on, man?
Oh, man. Yeah, listen, man. Halle Berry, man.
Okay.
She never really had good luck with men.
Yeah.
You know, but honestly, if I was single, I hit over the D. I would tell like, look, man, we need to meet, man. I'm one of a kind. And she asked, what makes you different than anybody else?
Let's go out on a date and find out.
I got time to let you know.
Exactly. You know, it ain't about the riches, man. It's someone that you want to listen, your shoulder on, rest on, talk to. You know, I'm there.
We could build.
There you go.
All right, so that's the end of our scheduled topics. We're gonna have Amanda hit us with a ask the view from the friend zone. No, because people come to her and ask us to.
Yeah, I get a lot of my friends coming for
nice.
the single person with the relationship advice. But okay, so here's one. All right, so my baby mother and I are not together. We've been broken up for 2 years. I'm not even smashing her. We stayed under the same roof after a breakup because we thought it would be best for the kids, but it didn't work. In the meantime, I have a girlfriend, and we've been together going on a year. However, she's feeling some kind of way, as she always has, about my baby mother and I living together. I've been saving money to move out, but I'm not quite there yet. Hopefully in a few months, I'd be out. How can I convince my girlfriend that she can trust me and that I'm not cheating?
Yo, that's tough, right?
I don't want her to leave me. She's worth the fight.
Because you know why that's tough? Because how many men we know be like, nah, I'm not with Shorty. We just live together, and they in them guts all the time. All the time.
AKA giving them a rib sandwich.
A rib sandwich all the time.
A rib sandwich?
Yeah. That's legal.
Clipper's the king of the rib sandwiches.
AKA giving a chick the rib sandwich. McRib.
Hey, shipping the organs.
Exactly. Giving them a rib sandwich.
My thing is, I respect
a rib sandwich. When you getting them ribs,
that means
guts.
you hit them ribs.
I know
anyway.
what it means. I know what it means.
Yeah. But to answer his question, it's tough. I respect his girlfriend for even sticking around that long because you're not playing me for idiot. If I'm dating a girl and she's still over her baby daddy, you just a smash. There's no way we could be in a relationship.
She's a true MVP though.
You know
So
what?
he needs to get out ASAP.
Hey.
He needs to, even before he's ready, just to make her comfortable. Like, look, to speed up the process, if you want, I could come live with you, but right now I'm not in this position to live with myself. If we're not ready to live together, give me a little bit more time. But if you feel like I need to make a change today, let me come stay with you for a little bit. And if she be like, nah, I'm not ready for that, cool. Now she's gonna be patient, waiting for you to.
Or like, you know, I mean, it's security factor. No woman's gonna be comfortable with that, right? So his relationship is gonna be on the rocks, regardless, whatever that he's living with his baby mother and this situation's going on. And I get it, he's staying for the kids because you know kids get confused. Me being a new parent, I understand that, right? But he should be able to get a room or something, or even that. His girlfriend should, you know, contribute for that.
Even the room is just as bad too. Remember, you share an apartment and bathroom with other people else. What if it's a joint that comes all the time with a bikini and all that? Like,
yeah,
you know
but at least that's more of a security factor. You know what? He's not with his baby mother. He got a room, and then she could come over and stay there to see what's going on in the process. She can't really stay there with him, the baby mother, and the kid.
What's not a part of the question is that she lives with a roommate, but she has her side of the money together for an apartment for them.
So she wants to live together with him.
She wants to live with him, and she's ready to move out, but she's waiting on him. He doesn't have his because he has to pay for the kids.
My thing about it is, if you have a plan and our communication is good, and I'm never like, oh, let me call you back. I'm talking to me and her doing something. She got to be patient because they have a game plan. It's spoken. It's when you don't have a game plan, you don't have a deadline, it's shaky. What about you, Mark? What do you think?
Well, they press for time and all that. I mean, they have to be reasonable. They have to reason with one another and say, listen, okay, well, we're going to make this move right now to understand that it's going to be a lot of sacrifices. But without that now, if this person's understanding and quote unquote, he or she could communicate with each other effectively, say, listen, in about a month or so, we'll be all right, you know, but like you said, if you want to move right now, it's going to be very pricey right now, you know, because I don't have all my points together. If that is the situation, you know, finance. But
you got to make the person feel like, you know what, I'm always available to you. I'm not doing nothing shady, and you know what the situation is. You know what I mean? I would even have her meet my baby mother and have a conversation. Like, yo, this is what's going on.
Come to you as a woman.
Right? Because a lot of women aren't going to lie for you to hold you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's some good advice.
So end this out. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're the woman on the panel. You got to
End
let
this
us know.
out. End this out.
Yeah, put yourself in a situation.
No, I just told my friend that he needs to hurry up and leave and hurry up and save, but it's hard because he's paying for the kids.
Yeah.
He's paying, like, you know, he's doing the child support.
And the rent in New York is crazy.
Right.
It's
And
hard.
he's paying more.
Everybody that I know who rent is paying more than my mortgage.
Yeah,
This is
Where
crazy.
you live in?
I live in Jersey, but still, people who are renting, who have two bedrooms or up, they're paying more than I pay for a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So New York is a crazy situation. Sometimes you and your baby mother are roommates because we can't afford to live outside of that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's trust, it's honesty, it's exposure. I feel like if a woman feels like she always have access to you, you can talk to their baby mother and stuff like that, then I feel she's comfortable. You could still be sliding and smashing on the low.
The baby mom like, yeah, we not smashing. And all of a sudden,
but that's all you can trust, right? That's all you can trust. If you're able to have conversations with the baby mother, you've met her, you've been in her presence, you're not a hidden factor, you gotta wait till the money's right. Yeah. And that's the end of this episode of Views from the Friend Zone. We're gonna have Marv let us know. Let us know what you got going on next and how people could reach out to you if they want you in their project.
Oh man, listen. Almost. Beneath the Play is one of my recent plays that I did in the Dempsey Theater. You know, before that was the JJC Theater over there on Off Broadway. It was a phenomenal play.
And I heard you doing a web series or put up
a web series. Actually, I was just filming one last week. It's all called Trapping TV. You know, that being said, for Sensitive Ears inside here, it was based on the stripper industry. You know, and how it progressed over like the 70s and the years, and now what we know in modern day culture, we see a lot go on in strippers. Like, you got the scammers inside there. You got the drugs going on, which been around for years. So it's basically talking from a perspective of females and what they got to do to survive.
And there's Cinderella stories like Cardi B, right?
Oh, there you go.
Cardi B's the Black Cinderella.
Right,
you know
right.
Yeah. So that's cool. So let them know how they get to you. What's your Instagram?
Oh man, Marvin the Entertainer. Marvin _the_ entertainer, man. All right, upcoming. Willing to work. Use every platform there is. And hopefully see you soon, man.
Cool. Sure.
Shout out for Marv coming on, promoting this stuff. Shout out to the team. I think it was another great episode, and keep it pushing. That's all.
Greedy gut with a little butt. No. I'm going to be doing a pop-up shop that I'm throwing myself. So anybody that knows any entrepreneurs that want to sell things and stuff like that, you can hit me up on Amanda Marie's Home Collection on Instagram. My email is AmandaMariesHomeCollection@yahoo.com. I'm looking for people who are selling, some vendors, and I'm gonna.
Where's the pop-up shop gonna be?
I'm trying to make it in downtown Brooklyn.
Nice. So like I always say, shout out to everybody who supported us. Shout out to Marvin Entertainer for coming through. I wish you blessings and I wish you opportunities, and I wish that God uses you to continue to grow your talent and continue to show exposure to what you got going on. Shout out to Esrovia again, because I'm really inspired, right? Like how many, these beautiful black sisters said, you know what? We're going to make wine and we're going to make it happen. And they have a beautiful situation going on. You can find them.
And they Southside breeders. Shout out to Southside.
All day.
Shout out South Jamaica
So
Queen.
I'm really motivated by them because, their process wasn't overnight. It took them 7 years to get to where they at.
Wow.
A lot of times we grind for a year and we think shit, it didn't happen. Right? Like if you're an actor and you've been busting your ass for a year or two and you're not Denzel, you're like, what the fuck happened, right? So we need to understand there's a process. We have to continue to contribute to the process. We have to continue to believe in the process. We have to continue to sacrifice, right? Like I always say to everybody, go out there and chase your legacy because it lasts longer than your liability. And we out. Views from the friend zone. Peace.
The friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm trying to sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's who though? Don't try to play me for your fool though. Views from the friend zone.